Absolutely. Ring of Honor and UFC in some sort of joint partnership could be astonishing. UFC huge over here as it is in the United States. Certainly all the events are screened here live, and indeed the fans for that sport growing a lot. And I've often heard it said that UFC now at this current time almost represents the beginnings of wrestling way back when. I'm talking about 80, 90, 100 years ago. The strongman at the fair. And this is the type of thing that's on show now. And it's in fact, it's almost like watching the beginnings. I mean, those shoot fights is what wrestling started with. It wasn't always a work.
Yeah, and I wonder in 10 years' time will they turn around and tell us UFC is a work? That's the question, Dana.
Now, Chris Hero with Claudio Castagnoli, Sarah Del Rey and Shane Hagedorn. They took on Jay with Mark Briscoe. Now, as I might have mentioned earlier, at this point in time, the Briscoes still had those tag team belts, which looked a bit odd on television. They lost them the coming Sunday night, indeed, at the Big Bang pay-per-view. So again, all these matches, a little bit irrelevant. They were sort of out of date. But like I say, it's always going to be tough to arrange those tapings.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like watching Mania and then going watching SmackDown before Mania. It's kind of tough to get your head around it, but always just great performers. All of those guys, especially the Briscoes, and even I still watch Ring of Honor, even if the product placement is a little bit out of sync because of the pay-per-view and whatever. But Sarah Del Rey, I'm actually marking out for prime time. Yeah, I think I'm down with that gimmick.
She's a really good-looking girl. She can work. She has the attitude. She shoots on diva models. What more do we want?
It's all there. Sarah Del Rey.
Yeah, Sarah Del Rey. And regarding Ring of Honor women's matches, I think I brought this up last week. I certainly want to talk about women's matches, because to be honest with you, I know fans are sort of tricked into thinking this, but when you have your brand panties matches, etc., you're never going to take the women's wrestling seriously. But indeed, you can watch some fantastic matches, but if you're not given the actual chance to, you're never going to buy it. So I kind of hate this attitude that the diva match is the bathroom break. Like I say, the programming steers it in that direction, but we've probably mentioned enough of that. But hopefully seeing more of those women on Ring of Honor. I mean, it's not very often that you do see them.
Yeah, it's slim pickings, all right. But I think the whole women's division on any of the big shows just will always have that rep. It's and it's because of those gimmick matches, and I just don't think they're taken seriously, especially compared to a long time ago where a lot of those female wrestlers weren't the kind of models, and they didn't have those unbelievable kind of looks and bodies and the whole thing. They were just mutants basically, and that was a lot more over than things these days, I think, and that's why a lot of people do call it the bathroom break. And I can agree with some side of it, because some of them, especially the WWE divas, that can be a bit but the knockout division was pretty strong. And I think, more female action on Ring of Honor would be good for them too.
Yeah, that was Ring of Honor, and Chris Hero won this week, and he came out on top with a lot of interference from the outside. Sarah and Claudio getting very involved in that, but as I say, not meaning too much, as the following Sunday those belts changed hands. And you got to wonder, how quickly was the decision made? Was it made on the fly on the night? Did they think they'd be covered and that in fact the Briscoes would keep those belts? Or did they just make that last minute decision and decide to put the belts on the Kings of Wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's seen the pay-per-view, a terrific match, and the Kings of Wrestling can hold their own. And I think it's a tag team that works. I didn't think it was going to at first, but the Briscoes certainly works, obviously, because they're brothers, but they're legit too, I think, and have that real wrestling kind of background. But what was the question again?
Basically regarding Ring of Honor, but I think the tag team belts changing hands, and just wondering, when was that decision made?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was kind of in place for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to be interesting now, following on to see what Ring of Honor do for the next pay-per-view. Now, I'm not sure, are they monthly or are they bi-monthly? But perhaps there's another one coming soon. But if it's on Go Fight Live, I will be purchasing it. And that last pay-per-view, just $15 for 4 hours of quality wrestling. You're not going to get better than that.